5K and probably crushed everybody.
But that's
Maybe he's not chasing the Olympics anymore.
but it doesn't matter because, like I said, we're up here, just living his dream. And you always want to have that bug. You always want to.
Yeah, like chasing that dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a positive way.
Positive.
A positive dragon.
I guess. Yeah, you ready? Yo, yeah, we can still be.
Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because no, it's all good. I know. It's kind of. Is that what it is?
So you gotta be vaccinated to go on a cruise?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
I guess I'm finna get the chip just to go on a cruise.
Yeah, your cell phone is such a pop.
There's no significance.
Yeah. Verizon never hits us with that.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started. How y'all doing, everybody? Name's Promise Mangum. Bank shot. That's it. We're here with the NC Future Sports. We are restarting this series because we got shut down in 2020. Everybody knows why. And yeah, we're here to talk about innovative sports organizations in Triad. One of our speakers is not here tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. Yeah, but he's doing pretty good, and let's make sure he feels better. I'm gonna just say it like that. Yeah, so that was Russell with the Showcase Sports Syndicate, and yeah, so let's see. We're gonna start off with our speakers, our panel. It's kind of weird because I am doing this for in-house and online, so I'm looking at both of y'all at the same time, but we are doing good. So to my left is Fats, boom, then Jefferson, then Paul. So everybody sees them. Everybody, oh, of course y'all can see them here. And we're going to get into how we transitioned our companies into making them innovative, like I said, after the year 2020. A lot of stuff happened, and we had to pivot and continue to build. And now that the world's opening back up, we have new things on the horizon. So, everybody, y'all introduce yourselves, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, I'll start off. My name is Marlon Davis, co-founder of esports, founder and co-founder of Triad, founder of AIM, KYS, and founder of Rocket Group. So, just happy to be here, happy to be here with some major players on my team when it comes to moving forward in esports, here in Carolina. Promise Jeff, very good partners of mine, the esports community. I'm just happy to be here. Looking forward.
Yeah, Jefferson.
Jefferson Nicholson, co-founder of Dash City Gaming, and helping Fats and Promise with the esports. Really awesome program we got going on. Usually at the Wilson Street Rec Center, or wherever the city will let us come in and play some games and open it up to the community and get more access to kids that don't have access to the games and esports and some positive career paths that are within sports, whether it be on court or on controller. And yeah, kind of share what we got going on, both on the esports side, with EC Sports, Dash City Gaming, and what we got going on.
Definitely.
Paul Steffens, the other co-founder of Dash Gaming. Excited to be here and have this discussion. Really, I feel like
So that's what it is. So we're gonna get straight into it. I guess I'm gonna start with Jefferson and Paul first about their venture. Then Fast and I will talk about esports, and then we're going to talk about some of the new stuff that Bankshot is going to get into for the rest of the year. So Jefferson, Paul, let's talk about the beginnings, but also some of the new ventures that you're in, if you can talk about.
Yeah, so I guess when it comes to innovation, my personal journey, I was in endurance event production, endurance events, with always an interest in video games, and sports, and gaming, and the community around that. And when the world decided to hit the pause button in 2020, I thought there was never going to be a better time for me to use that as an opportunity to pivot out of endurance sports and into sports while everybody else was on timeout. And it's really hard to move out of one brand and start another one without upsetting a community. So everybody was on pause, but this is perfect. So made that transition, and really, video games is, we play at home. 75% of U.S. households have a gamer that live under the roof. And so, one of our biggest challenges is sort of getting rid of the stigma about talking about video games and who plays and what they play and where and why. And it's just a major social, it's a major social aspect of our lives and community now, and it can be used as a platform for common stuff. And so I started the brand after a couple other failed attempts with some other partners, and they moved on to other things, and then started Dash Gaming, and then we started tracking down community members who was streaming and who was talking about it and some that. I found Paul on Twitter, and he was talking about Call of Duty and Twitch and other stuff, and just chatting with your community, and you never know what people come into. And then, so Paul, I guess I think he did just enough and caught him at the right time, and moved him on board.
There you go.
Yeah, I spent about 7 years with the Winston-Salem Dash, or the lead guy. But I started with Dash in sales. That's kind of my background. My forte into the esports world and kind of what we've got going on. But yeah, I think Jeff said it best. And said it a couple times. We really want to build a community, build a brand on community, and giving people support to belong. I think is kind of the big thing with hopefully our future esports. So that's kind of my journey. What Jeff said about our goals and aspirations.
Yeah, that's the innovative, I guess. Side of it is, gaming esports is part of, American culture. I mean, you can't watch a TV show and catch a segment of commercials, and one of those commercials, I guarantee, will have video game reference, or they're creating a product around targeting that gamer market. All the different products now from other brands like Fuel and all, tons of other products where you'll see them at like gas stations and everywhere else, and it's like you seem to be outside of the reach of that target market, but they know 75% is a huge number of gamers in America. And so, in terms of the need that would kind of solve is really more of a desire to engage and belong and be part of the community, feel like you're home somewhere, please be welcomed and not judged when you go to play a game, at least celebrated on the different things that you're trying to do. Whether it be you're playing because you want to be competitive, or you're playing because you want to collect and build your own little journey and explore that, or you're going to meet new people who play the same game, and then figuring out our biggest chance of figuring out what that would look like in a physical space. Now that we are getting back together, and creating that hub for the host, those like personal and like what we do kind of our biggest challenge now. So looking at like real estate and then talking about like a big business plan and figuring out what people will actually pay for, and then what kind of funding sources are there, and what they can be applied for. It seems like capital markets are drying up, they're scared right now, whatever. But they're just plunging into real estate. I digress. But there's still tons of like cash out there to borrow or whatever, and putting that towards like a plan. We need to have this idea, embody it into a physical space, and then build a process that us or our staff and we want to execute against the process creates the space and environment where people can come in and do things. That's sort of our big picture, our big challenge.
One of the biggest things that you just touched on was the fact of things are drying up on the side of tech and all that. A lot of these companies who came out real hard at the beginning of the pandemic are bleeding money, stuff like that. Fats, one of the things I want to step with you with the esports stuff and building a community, building that relationship and not just having a hype over stuff and really digging into it, because you've been out here, you've been doing stuff. One of the other things innovative wise you've done is hands up, guns down. One of the biggest boxing matches, you can get into that too. Building those core relationships inside the city, and we're inside the city of arts and innovation. How important is that into growing on or scaling up from where we're at right now in the Triad to regional, national space? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, piggyback off what Jeff said, it's a lot about the platform, and I feel like when we create a platform for the youth or just people in general to be able to be on, that it will eventually grow to a regional, state, worldwide, national thing that we're doing here. A big part of that is off the influence, how we influence people, how we influence people to come in. I feel like that's a big part of what I play in, bridging the gap with how people feel about coming and doing those things. A lot of people, I can do that at home. But okay, when we bring the type of, like Jeff said, the sense of community, then there's people like, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to spend these 2 hours here every week with these guys. Eventually we got it every week. Eventually we're doing it 2 or 3 times a week because the community that we built around, it just so happened to be games, basketball, bank shot, boxing, and it's all about, making people feel safe, and respecting people and listening to other people's ideas. Exactly. And not only listening to them, but applying those ideas. One kid say, hey, y'all always bring pizza. Why y'all bring it? We brought something else, just to let them know that we listen to their ideas. When we play this game, I want to play, okay, now this week we got this. And it's bringing a sense of community to them. To say, what, I want to come back. And that right there gives me the sense that, okay, this thing is going to get bigger. Because the way these kids these days can just reach out and just touch people, you know what I'm saying? Just, it's amazing, So my whole thing is just, just keeping that community of, teamwork, pushing each other, not being a judgmental zone. Because, I ain't too good on the sticks, but I hear her talking junk, you know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else.
And I think that's one of the things that, especially Jeff, because you definitely bring that element of competitiveness to East Winston Esports. And
Don't get that big brother.
yeah,
Like, they just come in and they're like, oh, it's my big brother. Like, you play a game with them, it's like they've been playing games with you for years.
so it's
I'm just so bad. It's all your nice thing. They're just like, I'm just gonna dunk on this kid.
that's
I'll
how
get somebody else on here. So, yeah.
that's how it is. But it's a very innovative type deal because it's like you actually have time to sit there and, like you said, build out that community. Now taking that data, taking that information, whatever, how do we transform that into a successful brand? Okay, not necessarily a business or whatever. If we look at it from the brand standpoint, because one of the things I look at when it comes to Bankshot, and if you already know, Bankshot is the core, but I have many different things that I do under Bankshot, whether it's esports, boxing, Dashing Invitational, um, like the what else are we doing? We're doing something else.
Basketball.
Yeah, we
Cornhole.
we tried cornhole, yeah, but it's like, but you'll still see the Bankshot logo with the safe on top. You always see that implemented somewhere in there. So it's a brand type of deal. So that brand recognition. How can the same thing happen with maybe the boot for Dash City or the Flying Dutchman? I'll just say it like that with Trap Proper. Like how can those things happen to where people will always have brand recognition, be like, these are some pretty cool dudes or whatever. Like how can we take that to that next level? Okay.
Yeah, that is a tough one. The brand recognition. So, in terms of building a successful brand within the startup, it's like, are you trying to measure it quantitatively or qualitatively? Qualitative measurement would be influence or reach that you built with social media. Influence, where you built as an influence, you built, which can be measured. You can see how many people are tuning in or whatever. But it's also like you can measure it by the number of kids that come out and play, or the number of people who attend the boxing event, or the number of people who want to participate in the boxing match. It's like, you guys have like that card lineup or whatever. And then, so quantitatively, it's easier to measure that way. And then obviously, if you build a business process within your brand that you've established. So you have a business process which means extracting value from your customers by giving them value for whatever service or good that you're providing. And for us, primarily that service or good that we're providing is entertainment, which can give a lot of us imposter syndrome because we're creating scenes of entertainment. And so it's hard for us to not like, oh, I know how little I can do this for, so I want to pass on that sort of opportunity. But at the same time, as an entrepreneur or an innovator,
Gotcha.
you shouldn't count the money in other people's wallets, but like just count the value of the entertainment, and the price is the price, and then measure the feedback after the event. So maybe it's not people showed up and for the price, and if too many people showed up, then you're crushing it, and then you can raise, or now you've got the numbers that you can then sell media advertising against. Because in the media game, in esports, there's a ton of different career paths in sports in general, whether it's games or real physical sports. Is owning a team or an organization is all about attention, and the reason these superstars get paid some money is they've got the it factor for everything on the physical capabilities, their personal capabilities, are such that whoever team is investing in, whether on the team or advertisers, we want to give them the money because they know their influence is huge. Like they're going to help them sell X number of widgets or order so many softwares or whatever. So, so we either approach it one of two different ways. We either host entertaining events where that's the product, like the product isn't consumed until they come and participate, and that's the product every time. Or we do something and get so many people that it's impossible for local, regional, and national advertisers to ignore, that we're just crushing it, and we have eyeballs on us, and then people want a share of those eyeballs' attention, and that's when they're willing to spend some ad dollars with us. Because then we say, hey, if we got 5,000 people here, there's 20,000 people online, that's, tons of concurrent eyeball viewers that you guys typically pay X number of dollars for on both platforms, and this is your target demographic here,
There you go.
and then we're able to get you for less than what you're spending on Google or wherever. So there's sort of like a business way there. So that's kind of how you can measure some success, quantitatively or qualitatively. And that is very much like, how are we gonna do this? Because our model is gonna be product and experience oriented versus media oriented. Because as much as I don't mind being on your things and being on camera, I know I'm not that 1% that's going to get watching me say what I have to say.
But no. I mean, that's a really good way to look at it, because you're saying the event is the product, and I 100% know Bats has an awesome product, because whenever we did the event, the boxing event, more people showed up, and that product actually was pretty well received throughout the whole city. You want to step into that real quick, because I like the dynamics right here real quick on that.
I feel like branding.
Oh, you can answer the question first.
Yeah, branding. Like this, I'm gonna use myself for example. I started a brand called Trap Pop. Now everybody in the hip hop community, they know about trap. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's looked on in a certain way, a negative way. So to not be like everybody else, but to also catch the eye of whoever looked at my brand. I put a man dying from doing drugs on my shirt. With that, it was like people. But that's what I did to get the attention to bring it to the brand. Then I expanded the brand to the events. But let me back up a little bit. Okay, so I put it on a shirt. I sold maybe 100 shirts before I took it serious. Then I said, well, I want another quality. I took the quality up. But people were only buying into it because of the image. But my whole thing was branding. I didn't want just this image. I needed to brand it so I could put this image in a church. I could put this image in a coliseum. I could put this image in an office building, and people will understand, that it's traffic proper. You know what I'm saying? It's not doing drugs. It's not selling drugs. It's actually getting away from this that can kill you. You know what I'm saying? So in reality, I brought in the drug users, the dope boys, and I helped them realize, like, man, it's something more to this. It's something more than just the street thing. You know what I'm saying? I can be a part of this esports. I can be a part of the proper good. I can start a lawn service. But when I put out there the image to capture them, to make people come to a boxing match, and this guy might have shot this guy, and this guy might have shot his sister, but at this Trap Proper event, there's no problem. It's just, okay, well, what's next? It's all about the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much branded it by the element of surprise. You know what I'm saying? People were like, okay, I tapped into what people like, you know what I'm saying? And then I gave them more knowledge to that. You know what I'm saying? And the way we can bring this with that is to tap in the same way. It just take that one influential thing. So much I say, well, what is that? And next thing you know, okay,
We'll play the game.
now we got a million people, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't even know, you know what I'm saying? They hit them out of the spot. People need something to follow. People want something to follow. You
That's
give
right.
them that in a positive way, and that's the brand. You know what I'm saying? Because people brand things all the time with negative agenda. And it hit, and they make millions off of it, but another million people die behind this brand. Trying to be a part of this brand or compete with this brand, or you know what I'm saying? That's not it. That's not what we create. That's not our attitude. You know what I'm saying? We got a different agenda about building the community. So we can capture that in an entertaining way, you know what I'm saying? A business way, a positive way, and we got a brand.
There you go.
Other brands that are going to associate with it, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We want to push that. Now, these events that's going to bring out these people, you know, it makes sense. Because we can bring out a million people and nobody even say nothing about these sports. But we brought out Lil Wayne, so everybody came. But we need to bring out Lil Wayne and make sure everybody is part of esports. You know what I'm saying? The brand. So it's a way esports got to look to these people, to the community. If it was Kim McGraw, we got to make this brand look like, hey, Tim McGraw stand by this brand, we stand by this brand. You know, and it's all about how we put it out there. And I feel like we're building a great team. And we got great people around to have the type of influence that people want to be a part of this brand. And, you know, when people be a part of the brand get bigger. You know what I'm saying? Brand expands. Because not only people want to be a part, but people getting ideas on what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? They get ideas, so like, okay, as long as we stay where we need to be, then we're going to expand. It's inevitable that we be nationwide, that people tap into us, that we have our own, you know what I'm saying, market for this.
And I think, and I like how you said that, because we have 2 minutes left because we have to be on time, you know. So we have a couple final thoughts and questions or whatever. But I will say this: if you already know this, even though yes, we do basketball stuff for Bank Shot, I cannot do any type of basketball sporting event. Everything else is between esports or anything else that's associated with basketball, because basketball is already established out here as far as like playing the game. So if you've seen me change, pivot and stuff, but it still encompasses basketball stuff, that is why. Like you said, you know, it's all about the brand. If they know where we're at, where we stand, where I can do all this other stuff, then everything's good. But like I said, to be on time and because my computer is on 10%, we have 2 more minutes. So questions and answers from our esteemed audience, everybody here.
I have a comment.
There you go.
Awesome what you guys do in the esports space. My startup company is a sports-driven NFT collectible type company. We deal in the AR and VR space. We have virtual galleries. One vertical of our company is part of esports. You know, we understand how big esports is. One of the things we're doing is working with partners to have elements of each game be interoperable. So if you have an NFT of a particular game in Call of Duty, you can use that in whatever, another game, and tie in entertainers like, let's just say it's Lil Wayne, we do customized NFTs for that to raise funds for that esports vertical. Like yesterday we had a conversation with a European telecom company, and they have like 269 million active users on their platform, and they're interested in not only using what we do, it's called NFT shopping. What we do is NFTs and athletes and sports teams, but also in this esports space, they understand how big that market is, being able to provide something for them. So we have like a mobile application where you could be in a room and gallery that's customized for esports. So now, not only do you have it to call it global, local.
Yes.
Local, so we can have people physically in the space, and then we have people around the world in this virtual space through our AR and VR technology playing the same game. Because it's streamed in that space, but it's all NFT based. So say you wanted to sell tickets or something like that globally, or here, a person can order their ticket, is now an official NFT, so you know that that person, he or she, is officially part of your esports tournament. So we have all this kind of creative stuff. I'd love to show you guys that.
1 second, 'cause I have to end it because it's 5:30. So I want to thank everybody in the virtual space. Thank you for showing up. Everybody here, thank you for showing up. We will have a couple minutes out doing our stuff, but we have to end on time. Yeah, promise ma'am. The Instant Future of Sports, we're back. We will have another one maybe in about a month and get some more innovative players that are in here to change the community. Talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye.
Yeah, it's like doing it right. Just like you when you see you guys.